Hey, travel fans, welcome back to another episode of Just the Facts. Today, we're taking a look at the requirements for the Schengen visa and the new requirements for traveling to the UK. Stay tuned. And if you find this information helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And give the video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out and allows other people just like you to find the information. Hi, Larry. Welcome back to Just the Facts.
Morning, Ken. It's great to be back with you.
So, you and I had planned a couple of weeks ago that we were going to spend this whole episode talking about the Schengen visas and what folks had to get ready for and be prepared for. And here, just in the last couple of weeks, things have all changed again. But why don't you explain to the folks what exactly this new visa is about in Europe, and are we ever going to see it?
Whether we're ever going to see it or not, I think is a real question. Okay, what this is, this system is called is the ETIAS.
Right.
And what it's going to be is not really a visa. It's going to be an electronic file that's attached to your passport,
Right.
which will allow you entry into almost all European countries. I think it's 60 countries for U.S. passport holders, and I believe Canadians. That's also true?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys.
We're going to be on for it as well.
What they're going to do is, instead, like we normally do when we go to Europe, we go stand in a line, and a really grumpy guy looks at your passports, frowns at you, asks you some questions that are totally irrelevant, and then stamps your passport, and off you go on your way. That system is going to be replaced by what they're calling the EES, which is going to be an electronic entry system, so that people that have non-European passports can basically go into the country with electronically. By the way, Canada has a great system for this. Your immigration system going through the Canadian airports is really one where you go up and you stand in front of the camera and you put in all the information, and it prints out a little piece of paper that you get. And it's going to be a similar system to that. But what they're going to require is that before you actually board the airplane to go to Europe, you're going to have to go to a website and apply for this ETIAS piece of electronic data that's going to be attached to your passport. Now, supposedly the system is, first of all, it's going to cost right now €7, so roughly $8.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get an almost instantaneous email telling you you've been approved. The worst case they're looking at is between 24 hours and 96 hours to give you an approval for it. And then once it's done, then it's on your passport. Now, I assume that when you go to the airlines, when they scan your passport, they're going to be able to see this entry on it.
I think it's going to be quite similar to some of the projects they have actually on the go in Africa as well. Like Tanzania, they have a system called that ETIS. And it's a pretty simple process to fill out. Just as you said, providing there's no particular issues. Like, for example, Deb had hers within about an hour, and mine took 24 hours. So it's not really a big thing, other than you're going to be on the hook for like what they said, like €7 or whatever. But the big thing is, I don't know whether we're ever going to see it, Larry, because they're having trouble getting the infrastructure in place to pull it off.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the way this is all working is that the electronic entry system has to be in place for all the countries before, and then they feel like 6 months after that's completely in place, then the ETIAS will be rolled out.
Yeah.
Okay. They had shot for a completion date of EES of November 10th, 2024. I believe it's France, Germany, and the Netherlands have announced that they're not going to be ready for that date, and they're not going to have any date. So at this point, with no date, I was going to say we're probably good through at least June of 2025 that we're not going to be required for this. We're not going to have this requirement.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be something we're going to be able to put on the back burner for a while. And so don't let it affect your plans going to Europe. Major thing we want to do today was dispel the fact that you're cleared hot to go to Europe, and you don't have to worry about it at this point, and your travel advisor will let you know when it changes.
Exactly. Larry, this has been great. But I think, probably one thing we should mention, this is a very much a moving target, and you want to stay up to date with what you need to do.
And it's an absolute situation. There's no waivers. There's no, let you go by, bend the rules or whatever. The world
Yeah.
The world is very strict now about these entry and departure requirements. So
Yeah. Yeah. If you haven't got your I's dotted and your T's crossed, you're not getting in.
that's right.
Yeah. Well, Larry, that's really good to know about the Schengen visa. But since we recorded that first part, something new has come across the wires, which is probably a little bit more pressing for folks that are considering traveling to the UK, and that's the new UK requirements. Can you speak to that for us?
Sure, Ken. This one was really underneath the radar here. We were so focused on what was going on with Europe that I didn't
Yeah.
even know the UK was considering this. But basically, what they've done is they've said that you're going to need an ETA, which stands for Electronic Travel Authorization, to go to the UK, and that includes if you're transiting, and even if you're not going to go through customs. In other words, you're flying into Heathrow from the United States, and then you're going to go on to Frankfurt. You still need one of these ETAs. Here's how it works: you go to the App Store or Google Android and download, and it's called the UK ETA app. You'll need your passport, your credit card number, and you'll be taking a photo that you can use for the ETA. So once you download the app, you just go there, you take a picture of your passport, take a picture of yourself. Most importantly, you pay £10 on your credit card, which seems to be the major purpose of this whole thing. And then they say that you should get a response within 3 working days. The other thing about the ETA is that it's good for 2 years.
Well, it's just another hoop for folks to jump through. And I gather that site is live now that people can go to. I'll leave that information in the description for people that want to check it out. And this is starting almost right away, isn't it, Larry?
Yeah, like January 3rd, I think that's when they're going to be
Yeah.
starting. So, since most of our travel to the UK is going to be in the summertime, then we're going to be doing this. The
Yeah.
app is very easy to use. I downloaded it this morning. It also doesn't say what's going to happen if you show up without one of these. So I don't know. If we just want everybody to be aware of it. Obviously, if you're a British citizen or you're dual citizenship, if you have all of those things, or you have a visa, which I don't know of anybody who gets a visa to go to the UK, you're exempt from having to get the ETA.
All right. So, long story short, for folks that are considering traveling to the UK beginning in January, we definitely recommend that you go to this website, check this out,
Yeah.
download the
Go
app
to
if
the
need be, and
Apple Store or Android, and
yeah.
just type in UK ETA. Download the app.
All right. Well, just another thing that folks need to be aware of. I will leave the websites that people can get more information in the description for
Okay.
folks that want to check into that. And again, considering if you're traveling to the UK starting next year, you probably want to get this and pay your 10 pounds or $10 so that you don't have any issues when you're traveling. Sounds
Yeah.
good?
Sounds good.
All right, my friend. Well, that sounds wonderful. Look forward to talking to you on the next one.
Sounds great, Ken. I've enjoyed it. Thanks much.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
And that about wraps it up for today, folks. A very special thanks to my guest, Larry Jackson of Cruise Holidays of Viera. If you'd like to reach Larry, I will leave his contact information in the description. For more information about the EU Travel Information System and authorization, I will leave the proper link to follow along and check for updates in the description. Same goes for the UK ETA. I'll leave links in the description to both the Apple Store and Android, as well as a link to the actual website where you can get a bunch more information. Thing to remember about that is it is effective for people that are traveling after January 8th. So if you're planning that travel, you need to have a look into that. And just a little bit of housekeeping, you noticed I referred to it as the Schengen visa. It actually is the EU Travel Information Authorization System, and it's applicable to the Schengen area of countries. So with that, I'm just going to wish you safe and happy travels. If you found this content interesting, a like, subscribe, share, and ring of the bell is certainly appreciated. If you have a question, you can always send a question to questions@realtravelexperts.com. Visit our website, realtravelexperts.com, or simply leave a comment. We always respond. So until next time, happy travels.